Hello, this is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Welcome home.
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hey, it's Amy from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey Clubbers, it's Scott from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey, it's Kathleen from DVC Clubhouse.
Welcome aboard. It's Phil from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey everyone, it's Amy, back with another episode of the Debrief Podcast, brought to you by DVC Clubhouse. Joined as always by Phil, Kathleen, and Scott. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome aboard, guys. Amy prayed for a stable connection before we started this episode, and I'm hoping it caught the first half of her intro. The good news is it's the same intro every single week, so I could just dub in a different one.
I know, I like jinxed it. I was like, pray for a stable connection. Everything became completely unstable. But, you know, I don't know what's going on.
Unstable is kind of our stock in trade here.
Yeah. It's appropriate. I don't know what's going on with my computer these days. I need to figure it out. But for now, you're stuck with me and my sometimes unstable connection. So, welcome back, everyone. Today, we are going to have a conversation about the Disney Destiny. I just recently had the privilege of being on the Disney Destiny preview cruise. I guess it was there right before I sailed on it, they did a cast member sailing that they all had to sign non-disclosure agreements. So when I set foot on that cruise ship, I had not seen anything, which was pretty cool because in today's day and age, before you do anything, you can see a video of it. You can go on Instagram or TikTok and you can experience it through your screen. So to be able to step onto that cruise ship without having seen any spoilers was a really great experience. And you know, Kathleen texted me a couple of hours after I got on board and asked me like, well, what do you think? And I couldn't even, I was so overwhelmed because there was just so much happening between seeing some of like my favorite YouTubers on the same sailing as me, like cruising with Ben and David. They are my favorite cruise YouTubers. And I saw them. And so like I was like fangirling about that. And in fact, I'm in a couple of clips of their Disney Destiny cruise, which I discovered when I was watching their ship tour, even though I was already on the ship. But it took me a while to be able to kind of like let everything sink in and process everything because it just felt like, especially because I literally had just stepped off of the Disney Wish with Kathleen and Scott and my friend Alyssa that morning. And I got off the Wish. I took Disney transportation back to the Orlando airport, hopped on the Bright Line, took the train down to Fort Lauderdale, hopped in an Uber, and went right to the ship. So I had just come from the Disney Wish Very Maritime cruise, which was amazing. We had a lovely time, of course. The atrium of that ship looked amazing. I mean, would you guys agree? Did you enjoy the Wish
beautiful.
cruise?
Beautiful.
More so.
I love the Maritime.
More so than the Halloween.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Christmas show that they did on deck was so it was adorable, and it made me cry because
it was very emotional.
Yeah, Goofy was really sad about not being able to spend Christmas with Max, and it evoked all sorts of emotions about not being able to spend the holidays with people that you love. And it definitely, and also I was like, I related to Goofy because Goofy was like a single empty nester. And so I felt that. But do you guys have anything else to say about the Wish cruise before I?
No, I just love them. I love the Maritime Cruise. I love all the decorations. I love all the character outfits. I love the music. I love Santa. Just it was just I love the trees and the tree at Castaway. I mean, it was just so pretty. I would definitely do another Maritime Cruise again.
I like that show. Like Amy said, with Goofy
It was
Max.
so good. The show was so good.
Even though Max almost ruined it by falling down the stairs.
Yeah, that's true.
Chip off the old block.
It was just the show, like, I don't know, the Halloween one was nice, but Christmas one is so much, I just think it's so much better. But
I'm so glad that I caught that moment of Max going down the stairs on video.
It was so close to being a disaster.
Speaking of funny character interactions from our last show, watching Max
Right.
almost completely wipe out down the stairs. But yeah, so as I was saying, I had just come off of the Disney Wish, the Maritime Cruise, where we had a great time, and I felt sad to be leaving the Wish, even though I knew that I was going to the Destiny. I felt sad because I love the Wish. I mean, I think the Wish is like one of my favorite ships, and I traveled from Port Canaveral to Port Everglades, and for basically just a few hours stepped on board this brand new ship, and it was just so overwhelming, and it's so different. I mean, you step into this grand atrium that is themed after the Black Panther and Wakanda, and it's very different feeling than the Wish lobby, which is very princessy feeling. But also, the Wish just had a Christmas tree and garland all around, and this one didn't. So it felt like it was this like big open blank space, um, just filled with people who were all, just taking it all in. And it around every corner was something new. It was such a weird experience because the Wish and the Destiny have the same layout. And having just been on there, it was so strange to see things like to see the Sanctum instead of the Bayou, to see DeVille's instead of Nightingale's, to see the Haunted Mansion Parlor instead of Hyperspace Lounge. And I mean, I have to tell you, like Scott, I think that you are going to love the Destiny so much because I think that the lounge spaces, I mean, they really have like elevated the lounge spaces. First of all, the Haunted Mansion Parlor is just, it's not necessarily a place where you would go, kind of like Hyperspace Lounge, where like you go and you have a drink, but you don't really like linger there for too long. It's kind of the same thing with the Haunted Mansion Parlor, but except there's so much to take in there. There's I mean, I went in there twice or maybe even 3 times, and it was, on every wall, there are just details from the attraction that are familiar. And it's so fun to look at the pictures and, the paintings on the wall, like they move and they blink. And it kind of like in that regard reminds me a little bit of Abracadabra, where like you're looking at the paintings and then they change. But it's just all of these little Easter eggs from the Haunted Mansion attraction come to life in the Haunted Mansion Parlor. And you don't even go there for the drinks. I mean, the drinks were fine, but the reason why you go is to just be immersed and feeling like you are in the Haunted Mansion. So that did not disappoint whatsoever. But DeVille's and the Sanctum just feel like such elevated experiences. I love the Bayou and I love Nightingales, but I think that the main difference for me between the Wish and the Destiny is how theatrical the Destiny feels. The Wish feels kind of mellow to me. Like Nightingales is very mellow. The Bayou feels very mellow. But DeVille's and the Sanctum feel very theatrical. And I think that the Sanctum is someplace, particularly you, Scott, I think that is someplace that you're going to feel like you want to hang out there more so than we ever do at the Bayou.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't feel as much as of like a pass through kind of like atrium bar. It feels like an actual destination, and the decor feels very rich with like these like kind of oversized leather chairs and these deep hues of like navy and maroon, and it's just so cool. And like the whole mystical theme of the lounge is so cool. They have like these drinks with special effects that were amazing. And then you go over to DeVille's and you've got this whole piano bar that is just like so over the top themed to Cruella DeVille. And there are a couple of things that happen throughout the cruise where she's in there. She also does this fashion show in the Grand Hall, which is just so fun. And that character, that the cast member who plays that character is like totally over the top, and the character interactions are just amazing. But just on that deck 3, though, that tree are so amazing, and I love that they have put seating. They built that like outdoor bar that's part of DeVille's that they don't have at Nightingale's, although a cast member told me that they believe that when the Wish goes into dry dock, they're going to do that, so that there's like
Oh,
also
nice.
like an outdoor part of Nightingale. So I hope that that's true. So I don't know. Do you guys have any questions or thoughts about that so far?
I saw that on the video. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like just extra seating right out there. There wasn't that many seats, but it was just enough, I think.
I didn't know they did that until she just mentioned it.
You didn't see it on the video?
There's an outdoor seating area for DeVille's, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Which would be Nightingale's.
Yeah, it's not outdoors. Like it's still, but it's in the Grand Hall. So it's like you've kind of have like a little bit of a lobby bar, if you will, that's themed to the rest of the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
But that opens at noon, so you can get drinks there at noon, whereas the lounge itself doesn't open until like 5 or 6. So, because the one thing that the Wish class of ships, or at least the Wish was missing, was something like on the Fantasy and the Dream, how they have the Bon Voyage bar. That is kind of like what that, I guess that's the purpose that serves. It's like if you wanted to just go sit in the Grand Hall and be able to see what was happening in the Grand Hall in the middle of the day, you can get a drink there at noon, because a lot of those, even the Sanctum, like the Sanctum is open for a couple hours in the afternoon, but then I feel like it closes and then it opens again in the evening. So that's like one place where you can go and sit and have a drink.
It's not big. It's not as big as Bon Voyage from what I saw. It's like half of that.
Mm-hmm. But still, it serves a purpose,
Yeah.
and I could see how that would definitely come in handy. All of the lounges were like, I was pleasantly surprised at the videos that I saw. The drinks, the theming, the Sanctum looked really cool. I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan, but DeVille's was actually the one that kind of caught my eye more than anything else. I mean, I loved Nightingale's on the Wish, but DeVille's looked really, really cool. Like it was just really themed well, and I was really shocked at that. But that one, and then I don't think you talked about it yet, but is there a Caskin Cannon?
Caskin Cannon, yeah. So that's the one that is where Keg and Compass is on the Wish on deck 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is themed to pirates, and that one is so cool too. Like that's another lounge where you could just walk around and see all of the nods to Pirates of the Caribbean. There is above the bar, they have all these lanterns, and they are lanterns taken from or inspired by lanterns of pirates attractions all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then you've got little subtle nods to the attractions. I walked around and I took pictures and videos of it all, because there's like a map of, like the town that Pirates is supposed to, be themed after. And there's the picture of the prisoners with the dog, and then next to that there's like a knocker of that looks like a dog that has like the keys hanging out of his mouth. So there's just so many cool little things like that. I won't go into all of them because it's fun to be able to go in and find them yourself. But it's it's that to me, I I think, I mean, Keg and Compass is fine, but it's kind of lacking any sort of like real theming beyond just being like a pub at sea. This one really feels like they put a lot of thought into making it something that people will want to spend time there because of the familiar nods to pirates.
I was just gonna say the Wish class of ships. I think they really nailed it. I haven't been on the Treasure, obviously, and from what I saw on the Destiny, that the theming of the adult areas is so much. You have hyperspace, you have the Bayou, and now you're talking Haunted Mansion, you're talking DeVille's. Whereas the Dream class, I'm so torn because I know, Amy, you don't like where the adult area is on like the Dream class ships, but I kind of like how it's separated. I like it being in like, you almost feel like you go in like this underground area, like it's away from everything, but they're not nearly as themed as the Wish class ships. I mean, they nailed it. The Bayou is beautiful. I love it. I mean, hyperspace is just cool because it's Star Wars, but the theming at the adult areas on those ships, I can't wait to see all of those. I mean, the Haunted Mansion one was at the top of my list, but I actually think I'm more excited to see the Sanctum and DeVille's than I even am for the Haunted Mansion bar.
Really?
Yep.
Well, DeVille's is so cool because it feels like this kind of like very swanky piano bar that almost feels like it has these like little nooks, these like little hidden nooks where you can sit within it. Whereas like, in Nightingale's, like everyone kind of like sits around the piano. They do have a couple of those tables, but the way that they laid the bar out, it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like this like kind of swanky speakeasy type of place. Which is a lot of fun. And it's just like visually stunning to look at. It really just, between the Dalmatian print grand piano, which is so cool, and when I was on the Dream, and I don't know if he was there when you guys were on, but the music captain on the Dream was a guy named Matt Grinke, and he's amazing, and he is now the music captain on the Destiny. And so he was playing at DeVille's, and he's an amazing piano player. He's when I posted the video on Clubhouse of Happily Ever After, he was the one who was playing keyboards on that song. And so I was thrilled to see him, and he's just great. And so he was playing at DeVille's, every time I went in there. So it's just, and this is like what I mean, where it's just like it feels very theatrical. Like there's like a this dramatic feeling about the Destiny, but like in the best way possible. Whereas the Wish is like very understated and mellow. This feels like it's fun. Like there's like this feeling of fun that you get in each of the venues that you go into that you don't necessarily get on the Wish. The Wish, I feel like I can go and I can relax and have quiet moments, whereas on the Destiny, and I don't know if that's also because I was on a sailing that was primarily adults and primarily like huge Disney adults and YouTubers and influencers. So I don't know if it was just the energy that those people brought to the sailing, but I just think that the spaces in general lend themselves to this very dramatic, theatrical, like fun type of feel.
Mhm.
And so, I was blown away by the lounges. And then Pride Lands. I mean,
Ah,
I feel
can't
like
wait.
I, I cannot even tell you, this restaurant is just absolutely like, and the food was incredible. It was like as if it's basically like the best that Animal Kingdom and Animal Kingdom Lodge have to offer in a restaurant with live entertainment. And I'm so happy because I thought that they were going to have like people dressed up as like Simba or Mufasa. And that's not what it was. It was like it was much more like cultural than it was like based on
Mhm.
the animated film. They did sing those songs, but they had a guy playing the bongos, they had a woman dancing, and then they had a male and a female vocalist whose talents were just incredible. While you're in this, they make it looks like the Pride lands at night, and so it kind of has like this dusk feel to it. It was just incredible, and the food was outstanding. It was my favorite meal of the sailing. I mean, granted, we really only had like 2 of the rotational dining experiences because the first night was the christening and things were a little bit different. So we ate at 1923 the second night, and then Pride Lands the third night. And I was so glad that they did that we dined there last because it was amazing. And knowing how much you guys love Animal Kingdom and Animal Kingdom Lodge, like I think that you're going to love Pride Lands.
And Lion King's my favorite Disney movie. So I'm just so excited for that.
We watched a video, the Mammoth Club video, and Molly and Alan did a really in-depth tour with the guy that designed Pride Lands, and he was talking about how they incorporated a lot from the movies, a lot from the Broadway show, everything, the music and every little detail that they put into that place. And when they kind of panned out and they just showed the entire dining room,
Ugh.
the way it looked, the theming of it, I was like, I think my mouth kind of opened up a little bit just looking at it, because I was like, wow, like they nailed that dining area.
It looks like it's at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yes. Yeah, like Amy said, it looks like it was just, cut and paste right from something from Animal Kingdom Lodge and put on that ship. I can't wait to try that out.
But no zebra domes.
No zebra domes. But I don't know, maybe if you take the guest survey, you can give that feedback. And the other thing about the ship that just was absolutely spectacular was Hercules the musical. I mean, the talent in that show, the staging, the set direction, the sets, the direction was so good. I mean, it was, I'm always impressed by the shows on Disney Cruise Line. But sometimes I feel like, well, do I really need to watch this? Because there are other things that I'd rather be doing, like watching the sunset or, just going to the Rose or staying at the pool or whatever it is. But this one, I am really excited to see Hercules again. I was sad when it was over because it was so good. And again, kind of to like I was saying before, it is just fun. Like there's an energy and a fun quality about that show that just gets you like feeling like hyped up. And I just felt like the entire show, the entire cruise it was like infused with this energy of theater and drama and just feeling totally immersed, because also the character interactions with Maleficent and Cruella and Loki, and there was Mirabelle from Encanto just was like next to me one night. She was having a meet and greet, and I was kind of we were waiting for this show to happen in the grand hall, and I was up on deck 5, and she was next to me, and there was nobody in her line, so she just started chatting with me in character, and it was so cool. I mean, I just really felt like the experience on board was so much more. I keep saying I'm like I'm like beating a dead horse here, but it just felt so theatrical. Like I felt like I feel like on the other ships, they take their inspiration from from the movies or the characters, and then the decor is like inspired by it. This ship feels like you're not stepping into something that was inspired by, you are stepping into the actual storyline. I feel like on the Wish or any of the other ships, you're like observing the story. On the Destiny, I felt like I was a part of the story. And, and I can't really explain it any more than that. But I think you'll get it when you are on board. You'll understand what I'm talking about. And I just think that they did such an amazing job. And even the rose, you guys know how much I love the rose on the Wish. It's absolutely beautiful. Even the decor that they used in there, the upholstery on the couches and the chairs, even that feels more dramatic than what they have on the Wish. There's just something about the texture of the fabric that just feels very rich. There's like this richness on the Destiny in all of the spaces that are just I can't believe that they were able to elevate the Wish to a place of something that feels even more like rich and immersive. It was extremely well done. And now, I mean, I will say it was weird. Like the preview cruise is weird. It's not like being on a cruise. It's not like a vacation cruise. It's like you get on and our schedule, while yes, like there was like the Navigator app that had some of like what the normal entertainment would be, but a bunch of it was okay, there's an open house to go to the Tower Suite and to go to the Hero Suite, and there's a content capture experience at the Sanctum where they have all of the drinks laid out on the bar so that you can go and take video and pictures. And so it very much felt like a working cruise where I was like going from space to space to get content while in between, taking a little bit of a break to, have a drink or to, sit and relax a little bit. But there was not much sitting and relaxing. It was mostly trying to explore every single inch of this ship. And I mean, I went into the Tower Suite, which is the one that's in the stack, which was cool. And that's the most expensive one. But my favorite one was the Hero Suite, which is also 2 levels, but that one has a private balcony with a hot tub. And the bathroom has this like fogged glass where you could either have it foggy so that you can't see out, or you can unfog it so that you see out to the ocean. And it was amazing. New bucket list item unlocked for me.
We got 60 days.
Yeah, manifesting someday trying to stay at the Hero Suite. But it was incredible. So I mean, Scott, you have said it before that you're disappointed that I'm not going to be on the cruise with you and I'm going on the one the week after. I'm feeling that disappointment now because I want to see you both experience it so much after having experienced it, and just to get your thoughts and your first impressions, because I really think that you're going to love it.
Yeah, I can already tell that it's going to be one of my favorites just from the few videos that I've watched. And I try not to watch too many videos because, like you said, you were really excited to walk on the ship without seeing a lot of content. Well, really, there wasn't any content out there when you walked on, but I can already tell like this is going to be one of my favorites for sure. I'm not going to say it's going to beat my favorite, The Dream, but as far as
You never know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still have to go on the Treasure too, so I'm kind of curious to see how I'm going to compare the Treasure to the
Yes.
Wish and the Destiny. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be kind of an interesting comparison between those 3 ships. But yeah, everything about it was like, I see the lounges and I'm like, yep, I want to go there. Yep, can't wait to go there. And you mentioned the Rose. That is probably my favorite spot. Even though they have the Bayou on the Wish, they have hyperspace. I love the Rose.
Me
I
too.
just absolutely love the Rose. So for them to keep that as is, and you said they changed the decor a little bit. I love going up there. So I feel like I'm kind of get the best of both worlds with all of these like immersive, like cool theming experiences, and I still get to keep the Rose too. So 60 days.
60 days.
60 days and counting. Can't wait.
And I'll tell you that the Pride Lands is such a massive upgrade to Arendelle that it automatically makes the dining situation so much better.
Nobody's screaming, yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo! Well, I'm looking forward to you guys experiencing it and to getting your thoughts because I think it's amazing. I think once again, Disney Cruise Line is doing what Disney has historically been known for, just creating spectacular guest experiences through immersive theming combined with the most outstanding service that you're ever going to get. I mean, I have to just to go back to our Wish cruise for a minute. My stateroom host and our dining room team was stellar. I mean, probably the best
Yes.
service that I've had on any cruise ship. And you know, it's just a reminder of why I love cruising so much is because I feel like I'm getting the best of Disney Imagineering with the best of Disney customer service.
We don't talk about that enough. I mean, I know we've done our fair share of cruising podcast episodes, but there is a huge difference between the level of service at Walt Disney World and the level of service at on a cruise ship.
Huge.
Just a huge. I mean, the nightly, daily cleaning of your room, having that stateroom attendant always knowing your name, greeting you every time you walk down the hall, and then the rotational dining, like Amy said, your servers, you have your head server, your main server, and then your assistant server, and it's just the service is so top notch. It's incredible to me.
Yeah. I think that says it all.
Yeah.
Is that where we're cutting it?
Anything else you guys want to add?
I'm just really looking forward to it. The more we talk about it, the more I can't wait. I'm getting ready to pull the app up to see if I can book a cruise before January.
Oh, wait, and actually, one more thing that I want to say is that I didn't talk about were Cafe Merida and Cafe Megara. Those are also massive upgrades from those coffee bars that are on the Wish.
They look at
Because I think that those coffee bars on the Wish they just look like nondescript counters. They don't look like a place where they don't like draw me to them. Whereas Cafe Megara and Cafe Merida both. I enjoyed getting my coffee at Cafe Megara, but Cafe Merida, it was also a really nice place to sit. Like I had a glass of wine before dinner one night. It's located right near Pride Lands, so I went and I had a glass of wine at Cafe Merida before dinner at Pride Lands, and that's not something that I ever did or probably will ever do on the Wish, but I really enjoyed those spaces. And the final thing that I need to mention is the carpeting throughout the ship was like a work of art. I've never seen anything like the carpeting I is on the Disney Destiny. And I mean all of the artwork around the ship hanging on the walls is absolutely beautiful. But the carpeting is just something where like every time I saw a new carpet, I was just like my jaw dropped. And I didn't know that I could have such a strong reaction to carpeting, but the carpeting also adds to this like theatrical dramatic feeling because they really captured the essence of whatever area they were trying to create in the carpeting. I mean, Cafe Merida, they had this like tartan plaid carpeting that was, just really elevated that space and made that space feel even that much more special and that much more like an actual destination versus just like some random counter, on deck 5.
I saw that when we were watching Ben and David's video. Just they were showing the carpet. That looked pretty cool.
The dragon.
Huh?
The dragon.
I did, yeah, the dragon too.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did notice real quick was the DVC center. It looked different than it is on the Wish.
Yeah, I actually posted a video of the DVC Center on the DVC Clubhouse Facebook page because it was different and it was something that like you could kind of walk into where they have models of the Poly Tower and a model of the Riviera. They still have that Riviera model lingering. And then they have like 2 kind of private rooms off of that. So it felt like a larger space that anybody could just walk into versus on the Wish where it feels like you're
Just
not
like
sure
you're in the
if you can go
hallway.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, can I go in here? Is it open?
Yeah.
On the Destiny, it felt very clear that, I mean, there were no DVC guides there. So I don't know if that would also feel different. I don't know if they would close that off on a regular sailing where DVC guides are there trying to sell timeshares, but there were not any DVC guides on the preview cruise.
Okay.
Did they add a dining option on the 11th deck? Like where the Goofy's Grill is? Is it Minnie's Delights? Is that new?
Oh yeah, we saw that.
They had, I think that they were all the same. They had the ice cream place, the barbecue, the cantina, the grill.
And then they had Minnie's. It was called Minnie's Delights.
Like the Magic has Daisy's Delights where you can get the wraps and the lighter things. They actually showed
We saw that on
Minnie's
Ben and
Delights.
David's video.
And I thought that was like something brand new that they added on.
Go back and watch their video. It's on there.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
didn't
wow.
notice it. I must have walked by it a million times, but it never registered for me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, because it reminded me of the Magic for Daisy's Delights. And
Yeah.
I said, was that on the Wish? And we just never remembered the 3 times. But I don't remember it being there. So, yeah, definitely look back on that and let me know what you think. I just never seen it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was amazing. Everything else is like kind of the same. 1923 is the same. I didn't even go into Worlds of Marvel. It was not open. It was not a part of my itinerary, so I didn't go. But the adult pool, the only difference really is I think the color of some of the cushions were a little bit different. I mean, those are like the things that are like the subtle differences from the Wish, but like layout wise, it's completely the same.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so
60
excited.
more days and you
I'm
guys
so
will be
excited.
there.
I'm so excited. If any clubbers want to join us on this Destiny cruise, it's a birthday cruise for me. I'm excited for it. If anybody wants to join.
We have some clubbers joining.
If anybody wants
We
to
have
join.
Jacqueline and Curtis and Emily and the
I'll send you happy
Savinos.
birthday wishes, buddy. I am not joining you there.
You gonna surprise me 2 years in a row?
No, I can assure you, despite me not bringing up cruising and all of that, I surprised you last year. I will not be. Look, I'll tell you what, if I show up on your birthday cruise, the most surprised person will be me.
Okay.
It would be a good surprise.
So you're saying there's a chance?
It would be a bigger surprise for me than it would be for you, I can assure you.
I'm sure the kids would love it.
I didn't hear a no.
No.
All right. Well, I think that does it for the Disney Destiny.
All right, guys.
All
Well,
right.
thank you for playing along. I hope I really did not bore you with everything I had to share this week. If you could head over to Apple Podcasts, give us a like, a 5-star review, that would be great. Amy?
And if you don't already belong to our Facebook group, head over to Facebook to DVC Clubhouse and join us there. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And until next time, we'll DVC you real soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
And so our journey comes to an end.
Oh, no, please, can't we go back to page 1 and do it all over again?
Started this thing together, and that's how we'll finish it.
Because that, my friends, is where the magic lives.